First things first, Decadent received an update indicating it's coming to the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series and PCs early to mid 2025. Not only that, a new gameplay trailer, and like I've said before, I'm not sure if I have played this exact horror game because it sure looks familiar. However, Decadent is a Unreal Engine 5 indie horror game sitting on itch as a psychological story-driven first-person shooter about a man's anniversary gone wrong. Really good looking game, I'm just waiting on its official release. Couple of months ago, we came across a solid update that Alien Rogue Incursion is another new game in the franchise that actually acts as a VR action shooter coming out this holiday season on the PlayStation VR 2, PC VR, via Steam, and also MetaQuest 3. Incursion will be a single-player game, obviously, based on the iconic film, and it marks the first VR game in the Alien series, offering an all-new storyline alongside the original plot. Announced February this year, number 3 we have a squad-based survival horror shooter going by the name The Forever Winter. And previously just a concept trailer, Forever Winter, which by the way, we're still not sure whether if this is actually gameplay, which what seems to be inspired by Generation Zero, a little bit of Mass Effect, and even the Warhammer universe. In any case, Forever Winter is coming to PCs only within 2024. Number 4, we have a psychological horror and a walking sim game heavily inspired by the Lovecraftian work with little to actually pretty noticeable resemblance to the game Scorn. It's a new IP here called Necrophosis, not to be mistaken with Necrophos from Dota 2. Necrophosis is a first-person, as you can see, horror adventure game set in a surreal universe billion years after the universe has met its demise. Now, the environment itself has become a living creature. This game is coming to PCs as well, late 2024. The Sinking City has a sequel in the works, only this time it's going to be a totally different direction from the beginning. The fine publishers just announced the new entry as a story-rich Lovecraftian survival horror open world game that's much more action oriented in nature as opposed to the first one. Coming to PCs, the next generation of consoles early to mid 2025, Sinking City 2 has a Kickstarter campaign planned as of today.
Night Zookeeper. Paul Connolly.
We'll bring fresh meat soon and wait for notifications. For now, get to work.
Zoochosis was again resurfaced with another trailer, and this one went on and actually hit just as much reception as the first one. Previously announced to be coming to PCs within 2024, Zoochosis is now scheduled to come out by the end of summer. But for those of you who missed it, it's a body cam horror fantasy zookeeping simulator thriller, as this terrifying parasite is spreading amongst the animals of a zoo and turning them into monsters. Here's how it looks.
Hey guys, lunchtime. Hey, cuties. See you, Daisy. Hey, don't fight. Damn, I need to hurry up.
Evil non-developers, or even better, the same developers who made Horror Tales The Wine, basically 2021, just came up with the word of their next game coming out July 17 this year. Platform is announced to be PCs, PlayStation 4, 5, and also Xbox Series. Horror Tales The Beggar here is not so much of a puzzle horror game this time, but an action survival horror in nature. It's made with the use of Unreal Engine 5, and for better or worse, it's actually a free demo for you to try on Steam right now. Does any of you remember WAPO? Really cute, colorful platformer like Loco Roco? 2016 anyone? Been a while. I mean, there's been new games, but developers have been coming up with the exact opposite of their usual games. A survival and a psychological horror game going by the name The Ninth Charnel. Definitely one of the most messed up action FPS horror games I've seen lately, that actually offers 6 different protagonists and their own different stories and abilities. Check it out in case you missed it. A quick reminder over here, SCP-5K the horror game is said to be coming out of its early access and fully released by the end of 2024. So, released over 2 years ago on Steam, for those of you new here, SCP-5K here is a co-op tactical horror shooter, definitely one of the finest in quality early access games, super good graphics, really well made single player campaign, pretty intense. We really think this game could use some AI teammates, like the Left 4 Dead.
To any agents that can hear me. Listen, if you can hear me, you need to disable Area 12's lockdown. Backup is waiting for your signal. Nothing. They're gone.
Dark World Karma, on the other hand, number 10, is a first-person story-driven psychological horror game announced for Switch initially, which is now also coming to PCs and also then PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. This news was actually aired with a new trailer. The game is made specifically to feel like you're living through the character's mind or memories to know about this guy's story. Check it out in case you missed it.
What happened to me? Am I?
Shit. Jesus Christ.
In case you've missed out on its announcement earlier in February, the game Death Relives is a first-person survival horror action exploration in which you've been thrown in the gods' realm and you have to actually survive fighting gods, the ones that are pretty long forgotten. See, not only that, is what's specific about this game is that you get to explore real historical places from Aztec mythology and learn about the stories. This game is coming to PCs, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X in the second quarter of the year.
I still can't believe you went. What are you thinking? Going to that place? Wish you hadn't got yourself into this mess, but you did.
We've mentioned Still Wakes the Deep only days ago, but if you missed the update, developers have revealed a new release date of July 18 for it on top of a new trailer. This is a new work of the Amnesia game developers, made with the use of Unreal Engine 5 and touted by a great team as a narrative horror adventure. Not only that, although set 50 years into the past, and it closely refers to the movie Shining story, except it actually takes place in the middle of the ocean.
Won't be home, but if you don't deal with this, then we are done for good. I love you, but I won't wait forever.
Sitting on Steam with a release window of June 2024 since a week ago. Number 13, we have Bureau of Contacts. It's a new work of a small new developer with a nice handful of games since a few years ago, now coming up with a rather horror game. Bureau of Contacts actually puts you in the shoes of a FBI agent, well, an agent of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, it seems, where you must contact and investigate paranormal entities, and your actions are kind of limited to investigating and exorcism. That's actually all on you. Just a quick mention over here, the trailer is basically an IP reveal. The Paranormal Activity franchise has a game in the making called Found Footage. It's a non-virtual reality game currently slated to come out in 2026, across PCs and other consoles as well, that's all. Most of you probably know that there's a good few photorealistic games in the making as of early last year. Silent Breath here was another one announced just a month ago on IGN. It's not a scam, but a atmospheric Unreal Engine 5 horror game fairly in the same style of the game Unrecord. There's just a different approach and a very different setting. It's quite fine in design. It might be just lacking a little bit of effort in the game's animations. As it looks, it's coming to PCs only.
Welcome to the Den of the Order of Serenity, a religious group that abducts individuals with questionable morals.
Number 16, we have Psychofear. Psychofear is a solo and co-op support survival horror game inspired by the Saw franchise, in which players are trapped and must use their skill and wits to escape their death, only they've actually been abducted by a real psychopath. The game incorporates heavy emphasis on puzzle solving, lots of exploration to do, ranging from easy to very challenging. Developers said this heart-pounding survival horror game needs a lot of thinking outside the box.
The Order of Serenity tolerates no such weaknesses.
It has been over a decade to this day, but of course, better late than never. Until Dawn has a remake in the works, set to be coming to PCs and the PlayStation 5 only by the end of the year. Developers announced and even came up with a gameplay trailer. For those of you who already went over the original game, this time you get to enjoy returning to Blackwood Mountain with a new third-person mode, improved visuals, audio, and also it's going to be incorporating the Unreal Engine 5. There's more. Until Dawn, for those of you new, is a story-driven or decision-based horror game.
I want you to remember this, I want you to remember this as you play your game.
Sam.
Available on the Nintendo Wii Shop with a demo, also on Steam. Last but not least, we have Corpse Party 2, Darkness Distortion. Now, for those of you new here, this is a survival visual novel horror adventure game that just goes back to more than a dozen years ago. This time, we're letting players follow 3 high school students or streamers as they explore a hospital, trying to find out about a local story. Horror one. Here's how it looks. This game is coming out on all platforms around fall this year.